Very good morning, dear students. Today we are going to discuss another important biogeochemical cycle called nitrogen cycle. So this is the one of the major biogeochemical cycle present in the ecosystem. We will discuss what is the need and relevance of nitrogen. So nitrogen, as you all know, this is the most abundant component present in the ecosystem. Approximately 78% of the molecule there, that is in the form of nitrogen. And this nitrogen are very important component in the case of protein and nucleic acids and other nitrogenous substances present in the organism. And the nitrates, this nitrogen are mainly in the form of organic nitrogen, ammonium, nitrite NO2 minus, nitrate NO3 minus, nitrous oxide, nitric oxide, inorganic nitrogen gas. So these are the major forms of nitrogen. They are directly present and directly involved in the nitrogen cycle. Then unfortunately the green plants, they are the primary producers we have discussed, and they cannot utilize the atmospheric nitrogen directly. They can utilize the nitrogen from the soil in the form of nitrates and ammonium salt, and this nitrogen is supplied in the form of fertilizers in agricultural crops. And what is the most important concept about environmental microbiology? The aspect is microorganism plays a very vital role in the nitrogen cycle. So without microorganism, nitrogen cycle cannot be completed. So the activities of specific microorganisms are very important in the nitrogen into the useful form of the in the conversion of nitrogen in the form of useful form of nitrogenous components. And what do you mean by nitrogen cycle? As you can see in the figure, that is a complex biogeochemical process in which the nitrogen is converted into multiple major forms, whatever we have discussed in the previous slide, through the atmosphere, lithosphere, and in the terrestrial ecosystem. Okay, so that is known as nitrogen cycle. Then the conversion of nitrogen can be both biological and physical aspects. Then the major steps of nitrogen cycle, that is, there is the fixation of atmospheric nitrogen, then the ammonification process, then the nitrification process, and the denitrification process. So as per the microbiology is concerned, there are significant role of bacteria and fungi, actinomyces are involved in the nitrogen cycle. So that is why this biogeochemical cycle, in microbiological point of view, this is important. Then as we have discussed in the previous slide, what are the major steps of nitrogen cycle? So the overview you can see in this diagram, that is, there are four important steps. One is ammonification, next one is nitrification, next one is denitrification, next one is nitrogen fixation. So this is the typical order. You can see in some textbook they have mentioned as ammonification, nitrogen fixation, nitrification, denitrification. But these are the the process are they are there's a continuous and circulating process. Then this here you can see the overview of nitrogen cycle. What do you mean by ammonification? You can see the complex diagram. Complete nitrogen is how it is transporting through all these three different systems. You can see here. And here the first step, ammonification, the conversion of the decaying components, okay, the decaying components into ammonia, okay, by various types of microorganisms. Then the next one, the fixation of atmospheric nitrogen is, here you can see this from the end product of these two steps, the nitrogen will be converted into a series of steps, and finally it produces free nitrogen, and this free nitrogen they will fix that nitrogen in various form, probably in the form of ammonia, and by various method, by symbiotic process, non-symbiotic process, and other other types of process. So this is known as fixation of atmospheric nitrogen. There are a lot of bacteria are involved in this process also. The nitrification, the conversion of this ammonia into nitrite, NO2 minus, and then nitrite, okay, this step is known as a nitrification, okay. Then the last step, that is denitrification, the formation of this nitrogen gas from this particular nitrite and nitrite. So the nitrite is produced, nitrite, it is reduced to nitrites, and finally nitrous oxide, then finally nitrite, and finally nitrogen, free nitrogen gas. This is known as denitrification. So that is the release of the free nitrogen from this complex intermediates. That is known as denitrification process. Here also lot of denitrifying bacteria are also involved, okay. Then we will discuss the nitrogen cycle into more detail. We will discuss the individual steps of nitrogen cycle in more detail. So as you all know, nitrogen in the soil, that is, exists in the form of organic molecules. I told you the fundamental building blocks of organisms are protein. The proteins comprises of lot of nitrogen. So once the organisms dies, so what will happen? The decaying matter will be decomposed by microorganism. There is a hydrolytic breakdown of proteins will be produced, and this proteins produces amino acids, okay. So there will be the removal of amino groups, that is known as a deamination process. So the amino group of amino acids, as I mentioned, will be removed and convert that compound as ammonia, okay, and the formation of ammonia from this decaying complex organic material present in the ecosystems are known as ammonification, and the organism they are involving in this particular process are known as ammonifying bacteria. There are a lot of bacteria and fungi are involved in this particular process. So here you can see the steps. The proteins from the dead complex organic materials that will be decomposed into amino acid by microbial decomposition process. Then again what will happen? The amino acids will be later converted into ammonia by using again microbial microbial action by novel microbial enzymes. So this process is known as the ammonification. Then what will happen? The microorganism, as I said, they are having lot of proteolytic enzymes. They are extracellular proteolytic enzymes, and that proteolytic enzymes will be decompose the protein, and that particular protein produces the amino acid, and the amino acid that are produced by these steps will be transported to the microbial cell where it produces the ammonia, okay, and later the ammonia will be stored in the soil. The main fate of the ammonia that is produced by the ammonification process, they are present in the soil, okay. Depending upon the soil condition, it will vary. So, and you know that ammonia is a gas, thus it is rapidly disappears from the soil, and what will happen? And it will become and it will become solubilized in water as ammonium salt, okay, and this ammonium salt will be present in the form of ammonia in the soil. So that is what I told you. Here you can see the ammonia will be converted into water to form ammonia, and the ammonium hydroxide. This ammonium hydroxide will be dissociate as NH plus NH4 plus OH minus. So this NH4 plus will be stored in the soil. Okay, and this ammonium ion from this sequence reactions are used by the bacteria and plant for the synthesis of their amino acids. Then second step is known as nitrification. So what do you mean by nitrification? The conversion of this ammonium into nitrite then nitrite. Okay, so the oxidation of nitrogen in the ammonium ion to produce a nitrate, and this particular process is known as a nitrification. So that means to say the conversion of ammonium into nitrite by nitrifying, autotrophic nitrifying bacteria. Then this nitrite will be converted into nitrate. So what is this particular process? It consisting of mainly two processes, and the major bacteria they are involved in this process are Nitrosomonas and Nitrobacter. So there are I told you there are two important steps. In the first steps, the ammonium ion will be converted into nitrite form. Okay, please make a note of it. This is NO2 minus. Okay, nitrite ion by Nitrosomonas. Then the second stage, this nitrite that is produced by this Nitrosomonas will be later converted into nitrate by Nitrobacter. So Nitrobacter that oxidizes the nitrite ion to nitrate ion. So NO2 minus ion will be converted into NO3 minus ions. Okay, this particular process is known as nitrification. Then what do you mean by denitrification? Denitrification, this is the process in which the nitrogen compounds are released back. Okay, so whatever the nitrate is produced and that is released back in the form of atmospheric nitrogen. Okay, the conversion of nitrate into nitrogen gas. So that means to say the loss of nitrogen to the atmosphere as nitrogen gas. So this is known as denitrification. Okay, so nitrate ion will be converted into nitrite ion. As I said, later it will be converted into nitrous oxide, then finally nitrogen gas. So this nitrogen gas will be present in the atmosphere, and this denitrification process is generally occurred in the waterlogged soil where little amount of oxygen will be available. But however, the absence of oxygen, this nitrifying bacteria utilize this nitrite as an electron acceptor, and what will happen? They utilize that nitrogen the soil, and this can be utilized as the fertilizer. Okay, and this nitrate into nitrogen convert the nitrite into gaseous nitrogen that enters in the atmosphere, and that represent considerable economic loss to the ecosystem. Okay, so that is the another important aspect of denitrification. Then the most another important steps is known as nitrogen fixation. So what do you mean by nitrogen fixation? Now you know that from the organic compound it produces ammonia. From the ammonia, that is known as ammonification. From the ammonia it produces nitrite, that is known as nitrification. Then from that nitrite it converted back into the nitrogen gas, that is known as denitrification. Finally, once the nitrogen that is produced from first three process will be fixed in the atmosphere for the useful form that can be utilized by various living organisms present in the earth. Okay, and there are three types of nitrogen fixation. One is known as atmospheric nitrogen fixation. Next one is known as industrial nitrogen fixation. Next one is known as biological nitrogen fixation. Okay, so we will see briefly about first two, and we will discuss in detail about the third one. That is what our major focus. So atmospheric nitrogen fixation. So generally this is a natural phenomenon in which the energy of lightning, okay, lightning process that breaks the nitrogen into nitrogen oxide, and that nitrogen oxide will be utilized by the plant. That is known as atmospheric fixation of nitrogen. That is a natural process. Okay. Then industrial nitrogen fixation. This is a man-made process where the nitrogen fixed by the use of ammonia. Okay. So ammonia, how it will produce? It is produced by the combination of nitrogen and hydrogen. Okay. Then this produces ammonia. This ammonia later produces urea. Okay. So this particular process is known as industrial nitrogen fixation. This is artificial, industrially man-made process. Then the most importantly, we will discuss about this process, that is biological nitrogen fixation. Okay. So there, the transformation of the unusable form of nitrogen into the most usable form of nitrogen by the use of microorganism. So there comes the importance of environmental microbiology, where the role of microorganisms are coming into picture. Okay, and these nitrogen fixing organisms are commonly known as diazotrophs. So diazotrophs are the organism. They are able to fix the atmospheric nitrogen, and this nitrogen fixation is mainly three different process. Number one, symbiotic nitrogen fixation. Next one is non-symbiotic nitrogen fixation. Third one is one more method you will be able to see, that is known as associative symbiotic nitrogen fixation. Okay, symbiotic nitrogen fixation, non-symbiotic or free living nitrogen fixation, and associative symbiotic nitrogen fixation. Okay, then we will discuss one by one. What do you mean by symbiotic nitrogen fixation? So that means this particular process where the role of microbiology is coming. So here the fixation of atmospheric nitrogen by certain bacteria that are symbiotically associated with the roots of certain leguminous plants. Okay, and this symbiotic nitrogen fixing bacteria fixes the atmospheric nitrogen into the plant root in the form of root nodule, and that nitrogen will be available for the plants. Okay, the major such kind of organisms are Rhizobium Rhizobium, okay, Rhizobium japonicum, Rhizobium meliloti. All those organisms you can see here. Okay, and this organism specifically infect the root of leguminous plants, such as, what are leguminous plants? You can see the plants such as soya beans, peas, peanuts, alfalfa, clove, many more plants. Okay, and this is one of the important aspects. The nitrogen is, as far as the history of nitrogen fixation is concerned, there is a greatest contribution in the historical perspective of microbiology as done. Okay, in the history of microbiology, the contribution of the greatest scientist called Martinus W. Beijerinck. He was known as the pioneer of microbial ecology. Okay, he has contributed a lot. He is the person, he identified the nitrogen, the process of nitrogen fixation, especially symbiotic nitrogen fixation. Okay, he identified an organism called as a symbiotic nitrogen fixing organism. Then here the first symbiotic nitrogen fixing organism we are going to discuss are Rhizobium. So Rhizobium, as you all know, is a gram-negative soil bacteria that fixes the atmospheric nitrogen. As you can see in the picture, this can produce in the nodule-like structure in the root of leguminous plants that are symbiotically associated, and inside the root nodule this bacteria fixes the atmospheric nitrogen. So these bacteria are the endosymbiotic nitrogen fixing bacteria that is commonly associated with the leguminous plants. Okay, and how it will happen? So here you can see in this diagram, this is the pea plant. Here you can see the pea plant, the root, and the tip you can see the root hair, and here you can see the root hair. Okay, and the root hair, what will happen? Appropriate condition, the rhizobia will attach the hair of this particular root. Okay, and this particular root will be secreted so many substances like indole acetic acid, so many components, so the rhizobia will be able to absorb in the root. Okay, the root hair of this particular plant. Okay, then what will happen? Then second phase, once the rhizobia is attached, there will be an infection thread will be produced by this bacteria. Through that infection thread, the bacteria will be entered deeply into the root system. Okay, so this is the infection thread where the bacteria can enter inside the root cell. Okay, then the bacteria changes its morphology in a particular structure called bacteroids. Okay, so these bacteroids, you can see they multiply inside the bacteria. They are not exactly like a rod shaped bacteria, that is a ovoidal shaped, approximately spherical like cells that most time that devoid of some cell walls, and that fixes the atmospheric nitrogen. Okay, once you can see that fixes the atmospheric nitrogen, that produces certain specialized structure. That structure is known as the root nodules. Okay, inside this enlarged root cells, that is known as nodules, and these nodules will be having this bacteroids, the rhizobia in the form of bacteroids, and that fixes the atmospheric nitrogen. So this is the overview of nitrogen fixation by rhizobium. Then apart from rhizobium, there are now we have discussed about the in the case of leguminous plants. Okay, then what about non-leguminous plants? Okay, that also some symbiotic nitrogen fixation is happening. Okay, so that particular case, the symbiotic nitrogen fixation is happening. That nitrogen fixation is known as a leguminous plants such as alder trees that fixes the atmospheric nitrogen. Okay, so this alder tree, you can see the root of alder tree. There you can see big nodule like structure right side. So this is the formation is happening due to specific type of bacteria such as what specific type of actinomyces. Okay, specific type of actinomyces, and this actinomyces, that is commonly known as that one of the examples of such actinomyces are Frankia. That is a gram-positive actinomyces. It's a filamentous bacterium. You can see that symbiotically associate with the non-leguminous plants such as alder tree, and again they produce rhizobium. They produce here you can see nodules, and that nodules will be fix the atmospheric nitrogen. So this is the next example. Then another example is there is another symbiotic mutualistic relationship between the algae and fungi. They are commonly known as lichens. This is commonly present in the decaying matter and in the surface of plant, and wherever the decaying matters are present, you can see. Okay, so what is that? The symbiotic association between the algae and fungi are known as lichens. Okay, so these lichens, you can see there are two parts. The fungal partner, that is known as the phycobian, and the algal partner, they are mycobian. Okay, the fungal partner, you know that they will be able to decompose the complex organic materials from the decaying matter by producing appropriate enzymes, and but they don't have the photosynthetic ability. Okay, but here you can see the algae, you know that the mycobian, the algal partner is known as mycobian, that they know that they will be having a specific property to fix the atmospheric they will be able to produce energy by photosynthesis. Okay, so that will be given that energy to the this association. So both the organisms are getting benefited actually. Okay, so that is another important example of symbiotic nitrogen fixation also. Okay, then the third one is known as Anabina. Okay, this is commonly using in the cultivation of rice field in order to supply more amount of nitrogen to the rice field. Okay, so the Anabina, that is a filamentous cyanobacteria that grows very quickly in the paddy field. Okay, so the nitrogen will be fixed by this particular organism by the association between the but not exactly like the previous approach, but somewhat similar method. They will fix the symbiotic relation with this particular plant. Okay, these are the another important example. So we have seen three examples. Okay, one is how rhizobium will be fixes the nitrogen. Then next one, how Frangia will fix then the lichens. The next one is Anabina. Okay, so this is all about symbiotic nitrogen fixation. Then what do you mean by non-symbiotic nitrogen fixation? In the case of non-symbiotic nitrogen fixation, they are free-living nitrifying bacteria. They are commonly present. They are not symbiotically associated with this particular plant, but they are free-living and they will be able to fix the atmospheric nitrogen. Okay, so there are three important types of such kind of organism. One is aerobic bacteria. Next one is aerobic photosynthetic cyanobacteria. Third one is anaerobic bacteria. First one, aerobic bacteria. Common example that is observed by the great contributor Martinus Badgering, that is he isolated Acetobacter, the free-living nitrifying bacteria. There are gram-negative, motile, oval, spherical shaped bacteria commonly present in the soil, that is known as Acetobacter. Okay, then another organism that is known as Badgeringia. So this is also a free-living nitrogen fixing aerobic bacteria. Okay, so that is known as a Badgeringia. Okay, so these are the two important aerobic nitrogen fixing organism. The second one is cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria is able to, do you know that cyanobacteria, they are blue-green algae. They are able to fix the atmospheric nitrogen, and they will be producing a specialized structure, the dominant resistant form, that is known as a heterocyst. Okay, here you can see heterocyst, and this heterocyst will be produced anaerobic conditions and they fix the atmospheric nitrogen. Okay, so that is aerobic photosynthetic nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria. Okay, so they will be able to fix the atmospheric nitrogen by non-symbiotic approach. Then the next one is anaerobic bacteria. So this is something great. So this is the first free-living bacteria that is discovered that could fix the atmospheric nitrogen from the soil. Okay, that organism is obligate anaerobic nitrogen fixing microorganism called Clostridium pasturionum, and this is isolated by a great scientist. He has done a lot of tremendous fabulous work in the field of soil microbiology. He is a Russian microbiologist called Sergey and Vinogradsky, and this main scientist, he contributed a lot to the nitrogen cycle studies, and he identified and isolated Clostridium pasturionum. Okay, and he often regarded as Sergey and Vinogradsky is regarded as the pioneer or father of soil microbiology. Okay, pioneer of soil microbiology, Sergey and Vinogradsky. So here you can see this is an obligate electron microscopic picture of Clostridium pasturionum. Then apart from the first two methods, there are some other method is known as associative symbiotic nitrogen fixing bacteria. Okay, so that means to say there are certain spirillum, their azospirillum, they will be able to fix the atmospheric nitrogen. They are not directly associated by an approach called associative symbiotic nitrogen fixation. This will be commonly with the grasses and cereal crops such as rice, wheat, corn, oat, barley, etc. And these bacteria, they fix a significant amount of nitrogen very near to the rhizosphere area. What are rhizosphere? The area in which the plant root make contact with the soil. That area is known as rhizosphere. So that rhizosphere area, this azospirillum can fix atmospheric nitrogen by using various by using a specific mechanism called associative symbiotic nitrogen fixation. Then why organism they are able to degrade nitrogen? Okay, why they are able to do the nitrogen fixation? Why this particular process? I told you, due to an enzyme. That enzyme is known as a nitrogenous enzyme. So what is nitrogenous enzyme? Nitrogenous enzymes are large families of complex enzymes that is commonly present in bacteria and cyanobacteria and blue-green algae. They are able to perform the main function, the reduction of nitrogen to ammonia, and there is a specific type of so many genes. One type of gene that this enzymes code is a NIF gene. Okay, NIF gene. This particular organism, they will be able to produce the a gene called NIF gene, that is nitrogen fixing genes. Okay. So organism like rhizobium, they have another gene called a node gene. Okay, that node gene is the gene that is responsible for a nodule formation in the leguminous plant. And what is this nitrogenous enzymes? They have two subunits, the larger subunit and the smaller subunit. The larger subunit is consisting of 4 small polypeptide chains, 4 subunit, approximately 2 lakh to this many Dalton, 2,45,000 Dalton in size, and they have 2 alpha chain and 2 beta chains. They are slightly they are closer. Okay, so that is the structure. And this they have a larger subunit that consisting of a heterotetrameric forms. That there are these two subunits are made up of 2 different types of protein, that is known as heterotetramer, but they are having 4 different protein. Okay, 2 kinds of 4 different proteins. Okay, heterotetrameric and iron molybdenum protein. Molybdenum iron protein. The first larger subunit they have a molybdenum iron protein that has a nitrogenous enzymes. Okay, that fixes the reduce the nitrogen to ammonia. The second one is a homodimeric subunit. They have an iron protein. Okay, that is made up of only one type of subunit. In the previous case, they are made up of multiple subunits. Okay, this is homodimeric subunit, and that produces a nitrogenous reductase enzyme. They will be able to produce the electrons. Okay, so this is the an overview of a brief introduction of nitrogenous enzymes. So as I said, here you can see nitrogenous complex. This is this consisting of total 6 subunit. There is a 4 subunit. You can see molybdenum iron complex. These 2 subunits are identical subunits, and these 2 subunits are identical subunits. Okay, and these subunits are molybdenum iron protein. That is a dinitrogenous enzymes. Okay, that can code for 3 important genes. Okay, NIF-D, NIF-K, and iron MOCA. Okay, so these particular genes are having specific role in the nitrogen cycle. The second one, here I told you, this is a different subunit. In the as you can see, one is given in the light green color, another one is a dark green color. Okay, so heterotetrameric subunit, molybdenum iron protein, that is known as dinitrogenase. Then the second one is iron protein, dinitrogenous reductase. Here you can see there is an iron protein, oxidation reduction. Okay, so that redox reaction that will be conducted, and it is an oxygen ATP dependent process. ATP will be converted into ADP plus inorganic phosphate. So this is the structure. Here you can see the structure here, the crystal structure. Here you can see experimentally solved structure, the iron protein, and here you can see that consisting of multiple subunit, iron molybdenum protein. So this is the nitrogenous complex enzyme. So due to the presence of this enzyme, the organisms that they are able to fix the atmospheric nitrogen, and they are involved into nitrogen cycle. Then what are the importance of nitrogen cycle in this ecosystem? So nitrogen cycle will helps to synthesize the chlorophyll from the nitrogen compound, and they will be able to convert the inert nitrogen gas into more usable form that can be useful for the plants through the biogeochemical cycles. Okay, and very importantly, this nitrogen cycle, a process is known as ammonification, where the bacteria and fungi can decompose the complex organic material, and directly that waste will be converted into ammonia and clean up the environment. Okay, so that is another important thing. And the nitrate and nitrate, they are released into the soil, that produces the that will be enriching the soil. And you know that the most important aspects for the soil, okay, the fertility of the soil, that is depending upon the NPK value. NPK means nitrogen, potassium and phosphorus. Okay, nitrogen is one of the important main component. Okay, then the nitrogen is an integral component of the most of the cell. Okay, the protein, nucleic acids, all those things, very crucial biomolecule that performs a very vital function. Okay, then so now we would like to conclude the nitrogen cycle. So here nitrogen is the most abundant component, approximately 78% of the gas that is present in the atmosphere. Then they are having a lot of relevance in the ecosystem. Nitrogenous components are the principal components in the biological system. And the nitrogen cycle, the movement and conversion of nitrogen from ammonia to nitrite, then nitrite to nitrate, then nitrate to nitrogen gas, through all the three systems are known as nitrogen cycle, that consisting of ammonification, nitrification, denitrification, nitrogen fixation. Okay, then they are having a lot of microorganism plays a very important role. That is why environmental microbiology is very important here. Without microorganism, this process cannot be completed. Then among all those things, nitrification we have discussed, denitrification we have discussed, and ammonification also we have discussed. Ammonifying bacteria plays a very vital role. Nitrifying bacteria plays a very vital role. Denitrifying bacteria plays vital role. Nitrogen fixing bacteria plays a vital role. In the case of nitrogen fixation, there are three types: atmospheric nitrogen fixation, industrial, and biological nitrogen fixation. Biological nitrogen fixation, that is microbial mediated process, that is symbiotic nitrogen fixation, non-symbiotic nitrogen fixation, associative symbiotic nitrogen fixation, and we have discussed the appropriate examples also. Then what are the actual reason there is an enzyme called nitrogenase? Okay, why organism is able to involve in nitrogen fixing organism? What is the speciality? Those organisms are able to produce a nitrogenous enzyme. So what are the structural and silent features of nitrogenous enzymes also we have discussed. Okay, they consisting of two subunits. Okay, one for heterotetrameric molybdenum iron protein and an iron protein, dimeric iron protein. Okay, this and the gene that is mainly involved in the nitrogen fixation is known as nitrogen fixing genes. Similarly, many more genes are there that is involved in the nitrogen cycle. So this is all about nitrogen cycle. So these are the important books that is prescribed in your syllabus. Okay, in which we have taken the content along with some recent published research paper in environmental and applied microbiological aspects, and you can have a lot of internet resources also. Okay, and if you are having any clarification, you can ask me. So thank you very much for watching this particular video. Okay, if you are having any clarification, you can ask me. Okay, have a great time.